Alright, so my next video idea failed. So it's cold again. Let's make another dress for the tiny human, and it'll be warm and made out of flannel shirts. First flannel shirt shall be the top. And it's shorter now. Next up, cutting up that one. Alright, trying to actually explain things. So this is cut apart. And, okay, so sleeves are trapezoidal, right? So I'm thinking if I sew the sleeves back onto the side of the shirt like that, then I get a trapezoidal panel, right? So the sleeve head has to be cut off level, and then I guess this gets cut off here and angled, making it even more trapezoidal, and then sewn together. And we're doing buttons all up and down the front, which is a different adventure I haven't figured out yet. Oh, this is funny. This is not the first time this one's been altered. Somebody went in and made it a lot shorter. Okay, so a little bit of gathering. I'll mostly put that to the back. Trapezoid gets us a much bigger circumference down here, but that's okay because the next flannel shirt I want to use is a bigger one. I need to trim off the janky bits. And oh, this situation, hold on, over here. So see the little button? I cut it off already on the other side. I might put it back. So is this like a secret pocket, or is it just a weird detail? I don't know. But I think I can go ahead and sew these together, and then I'll show you how I did it on the next one, because this time I'm just going to experiment and see. Alright, so that's where we are now, which would be long enough, but tiny human likes longer things, so we shall keep going, and then we need to unify all of it. Keeping with blue, we have an old flannel shirt of mine instead of a secondhand one bought for her. And now it's been disassembled, and the sleeves, wide side down, cut off right there. See how much, match the length of this to the possible length of that. Sew things together, and I think we'll have plenty for making pockets and integrating, so that'll be fun. I don't believe there's any hope of proper pattern matching in this context, so you'll have to decide if that bothers you or not. I think it'll be charming. I will say that if you were interested in pattern matching, putting any effort into it at all would be more than I'm doing, so you could have fun with that. Just hemming to get it out of the way. So, good news. My much larger flannel plus sleeves is big enough to continue. The smaller flannel plus sleeves, like the wide end of it, is equal to the narrow end of this. I did not have a plan for the alternative. So this is just me getting lucky. This, because of the previous alterations, I think I'm gonna have to trim this off a bit. If I trim this off a bit, this gets narrower, and we're gonna have a couple pleats between, not much, but you don't want too much distance between the buttons, right? And then we'll have our work cut out for us unifying all this, but goodness, it looks cuddly and like it will be wearing a blanket, yeah? Unsurprisingly, my brilliant solution for dealing with these thick, chunky, interfaced button situations is to separate them. Did you know they came in multiple layers like that? I thought they were just folded over. That's what I do. Separate them, trim off the inside chunk with its bothersome interfacing, gotta take something off of that side too. But then I'll be able to sandwich it like that. Sew it down and see? Not too thick, not getting in the way. As usual, excuse the hay on the floor. Alright, I think this sleeve's too narrow. I feel like if it was wider, things would be more comfortable and also it would look more like a dress. I don't know. So, this is the bottom of this shirt, so I can make that sleeve wider without patchworking it as well. So I figure if I go across the entire back, then I'll still have some pieces for pocket purposes or whatever, and I'll have two of these weird lozenge shapes that I can insert into the arm seam, because I don't need to make the arm side bigger, and I don't need to make the cuff bigger. I just want the middle to be blousier. Also, no clue how this is going to go. We're about to find out. Well, you're about to find out. I'll find out after some work. Well, that was a pain in the butt. Move your arm around, Squishkins. And she says she can't even tell the difference. Look, there's more room. So do I undo my work? Or do I add?
Yeah.
See, I think it looks different. Whatever. Okay, so in the interests of, experimentation and learning, do not add a lozenge-shaped piece of fabric to the inside seam of a sleeve and expect it to do anything good. That was a stupid idea. Learn from my mistake. I don't know how to make a sleeve bigger, especially if you don't want to deal with the arm side, but that's not it. This is chest pockets becoming maybe ironic butt pockets. At the moment it looks like this is shaping up to have a lot of pockets, but that's not a bad thing, right? Seems like a good thing. And here's where we are, and it's kind of too enormous to show you. My child says it's done, but she's said I could put an owl house decoration on the back because the back is boring. See? Put an owl house decoration right there, a patch. But then on the front, nice long vertical line. I'm going to carefully cut this gorgeous gold trim off this sari that I have. I'll use this for something else, but this would be very striking. And I'm also going to use this lining from a completely different dress that she outgrew that's a nice blue that works with the blues. Opal, no ma'am. Alright, this whole mess. So, the sari. My initial thought was to use a floral quilting cotton I have with a blue background. And no ma'am, Opal. Opal, do not go down there. And put a border on it. And I think that would have been lovely. But while I was scrounging around looking for that, I came across the sari and was like, oh, now I have to... Curses. You want to see the trouble? Nope. Opal. There's the trouble. I was trying to show your pretty face to everybody. Alright. Go over there. Thank you. Where was I? Oh, this. And I was like, oh, well, that's shiny and therefore irresistible, so I'm definitely going to use it. And, let's see, most recently I bought two saris that were supposed to be cotton and used from the same people I've used before, and two brand new ones showed up, one of them all plastic. So yeah, sell me brand new plastic under false pretenses, never buying from them again. But as you can see, it's a very striking border, and I'll use the rest of the fabric. Lesson learned. This part is, well, I showed you that already. So I took the lining from a skirt, right? And you know how with bias binding or whatever, you sew it into a tube and then you cut the tube into a really, really, really long spiral. Well, a skirt is already a tube, so that's what I'm doing with this. It's just, there's the far end of the spiral. And doing this because I want to experiment more with layering trim, I guess. I feel like it looks fancier. Clearly I should have put more room to fold under the edge on this one. This is being super slow, but it's also almost done. And you'll get to see what it looks like soon. Hold on a second. I'm gonna sew all the way down to the bottom and turn around and go back up, sewing the far edge down. And then it looks like that, which is pretty deliberate looking for such a hodgepodge. Okay, but why does even messy, chunky embroidery take literally forever? So this is the, I don't know, Owl House fanfic self-insert thing I have permission to put on her dress. On an unrelated note, I was leaning towards some kind of overdying, right? I really like the idea of overdying. And with the blue, I successfully grew indigo last year, but I just do not have the bandwidth to try and figure out how to use the indigo that I dried, and you know, ferment it, all that, try and actually use it on a project. No, we are not up for that this week. Which means that I was thinking about overdying with tea, and then I found black beans for sale at the grocery store. I'm like, a black bean overdye, that's a great idea. And then squish, it wore the dress like all day, and I don't feel the need to overdye it anymore. It doesn't look disjointed, because initially it most definitely did, right? But now everything came together okay, because if you mash the bits together hard enough, the disjointedness goes away. So if you want to see me try and dye something with black beans, I've done it before and it works pretty well. It'd be a good look on this, but like I said, don't feel necessary. If you want to see it, that'll be another video. Let me know about that. As it is, I'm going to finish up this embroidery, and next day we get with decent weather, we'll do a reveal, huh? See, I thought the weather was okay. Somebody disagrees with me.
It's freaking freezing!
Will you show off the pockets, my darling? And another pocket. And twirl so we can see more pockets. Yep. Are we happy?
As happy as we can be in this weather.
Clearly my child takes after me with the cold. Twirl again. Flap your little arms. You can go slower. Oh, and turn around, let me see the patch. And there's the patch.